There is a small detail. It'll come now, hopefully. Emily, let me know if you can hear me now. There's a small detail in that you should turn on your mics before. How about now? Still no audio? You're so much fun. How about now? How about now? How about now? Now? Can you tell me? I know. All good now. Okay, thanks. Yeah, you just got to turn on the mic. That is like an important detail. When you are a professional like me, you never forget to turn on the power of your mic pack when you are going live. So I'll start all over again because what I said earlier was so informational and so funny. Both. You missed some great opportunities there. All right. So StreamYard, the program StreamYard, has a green screen option. Just like audio, I'm going to show you some best practices that I also don't follow, but I will share some best practices and what it is you have to do for your green screen. Emily's on. Tomorrow we'll be hosting here in the studio a service tomorrow from the local church, 91.1, which is Emily and her husband have a church that obviously nobody can go to now. So we're going to host their service here tomorrow. I put a post up on Facebook and I contacted the family directly, and it just so happens that they were in need of a location to have their message be seen by all of their parishioners. So we're going to do that tomorrow. And we're going to utilize the green screen, hence me testing out the green screen to make sure everything's working. All right, so the green screen, this I just got at a place where they do the sewing. What's that called? Emily, help me out. It's right down the street there. What's that place called? Not Marshall's and not Michael's, but the Joann's. So Joann's, I got this at Joann's. It's just a piece of cloth, a green piece of cloth. There's a certain color. If you Google the green hex code, you can get the hex code if you wanted to and get paint. At my other office, I painted my wall green and was able to use a much bigger space for green screen, and it could do so much more. So the smaller your green screen, so if you're going to use material like this is you can order this on Google and they will send this to you. This is a green screen that is really stretchy, so it'll stretch across. But you have to understand that if you go with a smaller option, then you're limited on what you can do with movement, and you want to make sure that your camera is pulled up very close. All right, so that's really important. Joann's, yeah, thank you. Yeah, 99.1 Calvary Chapel Church. Thank you. I was struggling for the whole name, as you could probably tell. The other thing is you don't want wrinkles. I have a lot of wrinkles in here. StreamYard has done a fantastic job of putting their green screen tool together, and the wrinkles don't show up. The picture I'm going to be using has a lot of texture to it, so I don't even think the wrinkles are showing up. So if the wrinkles are a factor, it kind of blends in with the background. You'll see in one moment. But you want to try to have it as smooth as possible. I may come down with an iron and iron out some of these wrinkles just to make sure they don't become an issue tomorrow. So you want to try to get a green that is covered by the hex code, or blue. I'll talk about the difference. Why would you want blue over green? I'll make sure and tell you about a blue screen as opposed to a green screen in just a minute. So make sure you have coverage. I brought in Pastor Marty into the house just a few minutes ago. He's about 4 or 5 inches taller than I am. And so I want to make sure that when he moved back and moved forward, that his head wouldn't get cut off. And then for the most part, he would be seen. And then you have that wingspan that you want to make sure gets covered. I'm going to show you what this looks like in a green screen in just a minute. I'm using 2 cameras right now. I'm using 2 computers and 2 cameras to do this production. So if there's a lag, it may be because I'm using a lot of resources right now to do this green screen. All right, the other thing is you want to make sure, if you need it, to have backlighting. So I have a light standard here, and then there's another light standard over here. I'm not sure if you can see it. It's like that one, but a little bit shorter. And you want to make sure that you get good coverage of this green screen, because if you can see a shadow, can you see it there? Maybe not. Maybe if I want to play shadow puppets. But if you can see that shadow that shows up there, that could affect your green screen too. So when you're in front of the backlighting, there is no shadow. You see it takes away all the shadow that would be possible from this ring light, which is right in front of me. So if you have a ring light in front or any kind of lighting in front, if you don't have backlighting, there's a good chance shadows will show up and it will affect the quality of your green screen image on your broadcast. So if you can, go get 2 more lights or 3 more lights, because sometimes people put another light down below shining up. What I did is just have that one a little bit low, and you can adjust that lighting so that it's not so harsh. It depends on what you're looking for. So you'll make those adjustments if necessary. If you want to go very inexpensive, then you can go to Home Depot, and they have some construction lights that are like 20 bucks. And some sit on the floor, and some have standards, and you don't need to go. These are fairly expensive because they're LED. Yeah, it depends. If you're on a budget, go to Home Depot, get a couple lights. If you're not on a budget, then go a little bit bigger. And if you plan on doing more Facebook Lives and that kind of stuff. All right, let me go ahead and show you my screen here really quick. Yes, let me go to my screen. I'm going to share my screen. And this is when you're logging in to StreamYard. This is what you see. I can't zoom in because I'm doing this share screen directly in StreamYard. But when you are there at this stage, so you've decided you're going to run a broadcast. You went ahead and put in the title and the description, all that kind of stuff. Sorry, I'm looking at the wrong camera. And so after you've created the post, then you're going to go into the broadcast area. And this is the next screen you see where you're going to set up your camera and mic. So right over here on the right-hand side where it says camera, mic, where the cogwheel is at, you're going to click on that. And then that's where you're going to see. So first of all, it's going to come up with camera settings. You're going to select the Logitech if you're using a Logitech or whatever you're using. And then you're going to make sure that your audio is selected where I forgot to turn on the mic. And so you got the Rode mic there. And then you're going to go third selection, which is green screen. So you can then go and use the one that StreamYard comes with. And that is the bricks. Just making sure that showed up over there. It's probably struggling. The broadcast may be struggling just a little bit. As a matter of fact, it is. Let me know if you stop hearing me. It looks like the camera may have stopped working. Yeah, I'm gonna have to reboot this one over here, but it's not gonna affect you because I'm running 2 cameras right now. How cool is that? Hold on. I'm gonna reboot. Stand by. Never mind. Here we go. So this is the bricks. This is the one that we were going to before this computer crashed. And so this is the background. So we got the brick background right now. But you can see the wrinkles is missing again. Hold on. Stand by. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So now it should be working again. All right. Yeah. So this computer that I had to reset the StreamYard is where my mic is connected to. So when I did that, it cut the audio again. So again, when you're trying to do these demonstration things, I'm trying to juggle, again, 2 different computers, 2 different camera locations. So I'm like the news guy who can't find the red light on for the camera that's actually broadcasting. But again, I'm using 2 different computers running StreamYard, and I'm trying to run StreamYard in another tab to show you what to do in the background. And so it was bound to happen. So anyway, you can see if I come back to this look here, this is what it looks like when you use the green screen. And this brick look is the one that comes with StreamYard. I guess it's the best one, best one they could find. But the wrinkles do not show up. So again, always best practice is to make sure it's smooth. But the way that they have it set up is very powerful. I've used green screen in, of course, iMovie and Final Cut Pro and, Stream, what is it called down here? I always forget the name of it. ScreenFlow, and a whole bunch of others. And for whatever reason, StreamYard is a really powerful platform for running a green screen because no matter how bad your green screen is with wrinkles and lighting, it still seems to look pretty good. Still seems to look pretty good over there. So really quick, I was talking about why use green or why use blue over the other. So green is typically what you see in movies and for most situations, unless the person that is the artist has blonde hair that has a tint of towards the green kind of spectrum. Or let's say like my daughter, half of her hair is green, right? So with that type of person, you can't do green screen, you have to do blue screen. So right now, if my daughter were to come over and her and I would want to do a broadcast together, I couldn't use a green screen if I didn't want half of her head to be, part of the background because it would literally do that. Let me go ahead and go back to this picture here. Let me go back to this image and I'm going to hold up. Let's see what happens when I hold this up. So now I could literally disappear. Goodbye. See you later. Because I'm using this thing here. So how am I doing that? You probably had guessed, but I'm holding up this thing over my face, right? So if this is what my daughter would look like if we used her with green hair, right? she would be halfway gone, right? That wouldn't be good. So if you choose to use green screen and your logo has green in it and you're wearing it on your shirt, you'll see the background wherever that logo is if it has green on it. If you have a product that has green in it, let's see what happens here. Does it show up? No, it does. Well, you see it's kind of see-through. This is the Beleza, it's a greenish blue. And you can see through it. So you're going to want to be careful. The same thing with blue, right? So if you have a blonde person, blue is the better background to use. If they do a lot of swimming in chlorine, then you may want to make sure and use a blue screen with that person. However, now I would have difficulty wearing blue shirts. This blue is a little dark, so it may not be a problem. But if I showed my book with this blue on the top, that part of my book would show the background. All right, it would essentially go transparent and disappear. So you're going to have to decide what is more likely you're going to be doing things that are in blue, then you're going to want to use a green screen. If you're doing things that have the color green in them, then you're going on blue screen, or if you have the blondish hair that is a little bit more on that greener tint. All right. So I'll try not to mess up the stream. The StreamYard, here you go. The StreamYard allow you to record to disk and or cloud like Zoom or solely Facebook as of now. So yeah, I'm broadcasting right now. I'm broadcasting on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch, I think. I forget which one. What other one? A couple of on different ones. So to answer your question, Mario, if you use YouTube, you just can download from YouTube. And then delete it everywhere else if you wanted to. So you would broadcast both on on Facebook and on YouTube and Twitter using through Periscope. And then if you wanted to reuse the broadcast, you could download it from YouTube. I use repurpose.io, which allows me just to repurpose it that way. It goes straight after I finish my Facebook Live. Most of my Facebook Lives go directly to Dropbox, and I don't have to do anything. It's just automatic. And you can do it to Google Drive too if you want to do it using Designer. I'll put the links, my affiliate links, in the chat for that too. And if you're going to use StreamYard and aren't using it yet, make sure you use getstreamyard.live. Getstreamyard.live. Use that URL. I would appreciate it. If you're going to go to Designer is another repurposing tool. If you're going to go to repurpose.io, I have an affiliate link for that, and I will put it in there. I just don't have it handy right now. But StreamYard is the best platform. Again, they use their own system to regulate the broadcast itself, which makes it stronger, makes the audio much better. I'm using a lot of resources. I'm using 2 different computers, and I was trying to run StreamYard on 2 different broadcasts at the same time, trying to demonstrate. And of course, there's a limit. There's a limit to what your internet can handle. And because I'm on Wi-Fi, again, another best practice is to wire directly into your computer and using a hardwire connection to your internet. But I'm using Wi-Fi because, again, I was just coming on to do a test, which is now turned into an entire tutorial, which is just fine. I don't mind. It always seems to end up that way. And so there you go. All right. You are welcome. And perhaps it's nice to see they released it. You know, it's been in the works for a minute. Yep, sure has. All right, I'm going to reboot. All right, so stay on. You're not going to be able to hear me, but I'm going to put it the other camera and I'm going to hold up my finger. I'm going to reboot. I'm going to show you another couple backgrounds here, or a different background than what I'm using right now. Let me get rid of the comment. We'll keep that up. All right, stand by. I'm going to go silent for a second, but you're going to see me on this camera over here. All right, not that you really need. Okay, the the only thing that will be nice is when you can change the background from the dashboard itself. To change the background, you have to go all the way back out to the camera settings, change the background, and then come back in. So at some point, you know, that will be a thing, because I'll continue to bug them about it, that I want to be able to change the green screen from outside. All right, so the other thing, do you remember that I was talking about? I wanted to make sure that when Marty, Pastor Marty, stands up, and if he wants to walk and talk about a particular subject, that he can do that without worrying about cutting off his head. Again, when you are setting up the green screen, you're going to have to zoom in or zoom out depending on how much green screen you have, and make sure that you're not running out of room. Because if this isn't all the way here, you can see now that begins to show up. And now if it stopped here, then you're going to see that background, which is really the wall. Or what can happen is that you can have this here, and then you know, you're trying to demonstrate something, and then you're actually demonstrating to like a door or a different kind of curtain or something like that. So you want to make sure that that's why I had Marty come over, that if he opens up his arms, that he's still going to be in the picture, that if he moves and shows that picture, that we have put the marks so that he knows when he's outside the frame when he's talking. We're going to also want to test whether he's going to wear the wireless system that I'm using right now, or he's going to be able to speak from the mic itself that's on the desk. And then when he comes back to the desk, what I want to make sure is that as he walks back, is that I just don't want to cut off his entire head, right? So if he has his Bible and his computer at the desk right here, which is right in front of me, that he could come up and then just sit down and the top of his head doesn't get cut off. Again, that is just more on professionalism and how it looks than going off the screen. The one thing you don't want is what I did earlier, is not having any sound, right? That's so one of the most important things is that you want to make sure you have sound. You want to make sure that your arms and heads don't get cut off as you're trying to demonstrate something, because again, it's not that it's like horrible, like people are going, what a jerk. It's just when you're trying to present some professionalism and not cause people to think in their head about something else and not listen to your message. This goes for marketers. This goes for somebody teaching somebody how to run a Facebook Live, right, with a green screen. That you want to make sure that they're listening to your words and there's not things happening that are distracting them from your word. Now, it sounds like I'm only talking about a Bible message, but I'm talking about your message. Whatever your message is, you want to make sure and be able to do as much as possible not to distract from your message. If your head is being cut off or your arms are going out of the screen, that kind of stuff, it'll cause people to think, oh, well, that's odd that his arm just went out of the thing. Well, that's odd that we can only see half of his face, right? And so people cannot think about those things and listen to your message effectively at all. If you've ever been listening to a book on Audible and you're listening to the book and you go, oh, it's a really good message, but then you go to your Facebook and you begin reading messages, you will miss all the paragraphs that are being read while you are looking at that Facebook message. So there's no way that your mind can be on something else and you can totally concentrate on the message. So back to my point, if your video has things in it that take away the mind of the person watching, then you are not doing yourself a service. So that was a very long-winded thing to show you to make sure to have it right. And so this may be an image we might use in the future. This is the location where I think I found the image. I'm assuming this is correct, that this is the tomb of Jesus there in Israel. At least it looks like that's what it's supposed to be. I was doing a search to try to find a couple images to share with Marty so that he could see some of the things that we could do. Oh, another thing, using images. When you are using or when you are choosing an image that you're going to use on a green screen, and it's not one that you took the picture of yourself, you're going to want to be careful that you don't run into trademark issues. So if you're going to go on to get a picture of a doctor doing something with a patient, and you grabbed it off of some article you saw in a newspaper or a magazine, or just found on the internet, there is a good chance that somebody could get upset that you're using their image without their permission. And so you want to be very careful that you use legal images that are free of fee. And so Pixels is a location you can go to find some of those. Sometimes there'll be watermarks on them if you're using them from some of the websites like Splash. What are the other ones? I got Pexels. I had another one up here. But Pexels is a good one, P-E-X-L-E, or X-E-L, sorry. P-E-X-E-L-S. P-E-X-E-L-S is Pexels. What is the other one? I forget what it's called. If anybody has any others, make sure and just put them in the comment section. I don't know why I can't find any of the ones I normally use right now. Again, I came on just to test and to give a little demo here. Yeah, so there's a bunch of sites where you can get free images from. Don't worry about it. All right, so I hope this has been somewhat helpful. Again, if I go here, this is what it looks like, right? I'm not really in Israel. It kind of looks like I'm in Israel, though. I'm using what's called StreamYard. You're going to want to use get.streamyard.live. Get.streamyard.live is what you're going to want to use to get your version of it. There's a free version you can use for a period of time. And then if you want to go pro and begin to broadcast on all those other social media platforms I told you about, which I am on right now, which is YouTube and Twitch, Periscope for Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook. If you want to be able to broadcast all at the same time on all of those platforms, then you got to get pro. If you want to do it for free, then I think you can get one other location, another Facebook page or something like that. Maybe a Facebook page and a Facebook group that you can broadcast together at the same time. But use this link. I would appreciate it. It's an affiliate link. Also, if you want to learn more about live broadcasting, you're going to go to strategicmarketingtoday.com. Strategicmarketingtoday.com. You're going to go there. And I have tons of videos about creating content, writing a book, launching online training programs that you can create and sell them to people. That's all in strategicmarketingtoday.com. All right, so I hope this has been helpful to you all. We'll go back to the StreamYard one in case you want to get StreamYard. This demo, I'm half in Israel and half in Brea, California. How about that? And it doesn't look bad. Again, I'm using a ton of resources. You got to understand, I am on Wi-Fi. I'm using two computers with StreamYard. As far as I can tell on my end, there's a little delay, but that's it. It's hard not to get a delay no matter what platform you use. But StreamYard, in most cases, as long as you're not using all the resources that I'm using right now, is pretty good and probably not going to cause you a problem. But it's amazing that what it can do, considering that how inexpensive it is. Hey, Emily. I rock. Thanks. And there's Marty. Marty's there along with Emily there in the background. That's the pastor that will be here tomorrow, where we'll be holding our service. Hey, Chuck, nice to see you. Unsplash, thank you. I couldn't think of the dang thing. But that's where you can go and get images so that you don't get in trouble. And they're royalty free and you can purchase them. I've purchased a couple pictures that I knew that were fantastic. Like there's a picture of hemp for the Today's CBD Oil broadcast. I paid $30 for an image. It's a beautiful image of hemp and it looks fantastic. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to get a high quality version of that and I'm going to use it. And it's worth it. You can use it. You don't get in trouble. Nobody questions you whether that's image or not. How hard would it be to find? That's my hemp, right? Doesn't all hemp look the same? Yes. And so, but I still did not want to get into any trouble because there's AI that can figure out, you know, if that image is actually theirs. And I know that it's out there and it could be done. And I just didn't, you know, it's not worth the hassle. I made a video some time ago for Falco Canine Academy where we were training dogs on a bunch of trains in LA. In the LA depot, they allowed us to bring bomb dogs and search a bunch of trains. And I made a training video about training dogs on trains and the things that you need to consider when training a dog and a human being to begin searching for bombs on the locomotive, to the the cars where all the seats are and all that kind of stuff. And so in that video, it was about a 45-minute long video. The image of Amtrak showed up every so often. It was like for a minute, maybe at best, and not even a minute, maybe 30 seconds. It showed up as the camera panned out along the side, the front of one of the trains. And I got a demand letter in the mail from Amtrak's attorneys for cease and desist that video and to pull it off the internet. And so what I did is I did pull it off, but then I put like a little, when you want to see somebody's face and they put like black tape over their eyes. So I put a little black thing across the logo and put the image back up and never got another letter. But I'm telling you, they will find out that you're using that image. So again, another long-winded message there, that be careful when you're using an image as one of your backgrounds and it takes off. The worst thing that can happen is you have a video that goes viral and you're using somebody else's image. In most cases, you're going to get 20 to 30 people watching and nobody's ever going to see the image you're using. But if you ever get something goes viral on one of your messages and you never know what I'm telling you, you never know what it is. I have some videos that have 5,000 to 10,000 views, and I cannot tell you why it has that many views, because I know I have much better videos that only have 50 views, and you'll never know. But when it gets loose and it gets out there and people start watching it, the more likely, especially at about the time you're going to start making money from a viral video, is that the person who owns the rights to that particular picture will begin asking for money or demanding that you pull down that video, or it's theirs because you're using their image or their music. So be very, very careful about that kind of stuff. All right. Whew. That was it. I didn't mean to go into that. All right. I was looking to see if there's any other message. You get so many views because you're crazy. You are crazy. I love you, Nobby. All right. Mario, Emily, Chuck, everybody else who joined. I'm sure there's some. Kim, nice to see you. Thanks for joining. And Aubrey again, fantastic. Sorry about the sound issues in the beginning. Joanne's is the place where I got that green screen. Rich Moore, nice to see you. All right. So yeah, tomorrow I'll put a link on my personal page to watch the message tomorrow, and then you can see how I did on the production part of it in the background. All right, that is it. Go to Get StreamYard today, get StreamYard.live. And then if you want to learn more about broadcasting, go to strategicmarketingtoday.com. All right, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Bye.